Hello, dear children. Let's continue the chapter The Midnight Visitor explanation where we left in the previous video, that was video number 2. It's not my balcony, Osabel said with extreme irritation. It belongs to the next apartment. He glanced explanatory at Fowler. You see, he said, this room used to be part of a large unit, and the next room, through that door, there used to be the living room. It had the balcony which extends under my window now. You can get onto it from the empty room 2 doors down, and somebody did last month. The management promised to block it off, but they have not. Max glanced at Fowler, who was standing stiffly not far from Osabel, and waved the gun with a commanding gesture. Please sit down, he said. We have a wait of half an hour. I think 31 minutes, Osabel said moodily. The appointment was for 20:30. I wish I knew how to learn about the report. Max, the little spy, smiled evilly. And we wish we knew how your people got the report, but no harm has been done. I will get it back tonight. What is that? Who is at the door? Fowler jumped at the sudden knocking at the door. Osabel just smiled. That will be the police, he said. I thought that such an important paper, the one we are waiting for, should have a little extra protection. I told them to check on me to make sure everything was all right. Now, dear children, you can see Osabel had very smartly first made him believe that there was a balcony in that apartment, though there was not any. Second, he made it just confirm in the mind of Max that police is coming to protect him. So before we do the explanation of this part, let's have some word meanings. Glanced, take a brief or hurried look. Explanatorily, serving to explain. Stiffy, in a manner that is not relaxed or friendly. Waved, move to and fro with a swaying motion while remaining fixed to one point. Commanding, having a position of authority. Gesture, a movement of part of the body, especially a hand or the head, to express an idea or meaning. Evilly, morally wrong or bad. Osabel continued that it was not his balcony through which people had tried coming in, but was of the next apartment. He then started explaining things to Fowler, that his room used to be a part of a large unit, and the room next to his room used to be a living room. Then he said that it had the balcony that came till the window of his room. Then he said that to climb up to his room, one needed to go to the empty room which was 2 rooms away from his room and climb up the balcony. Then he said that somebody did climb up the balcony last month as well. He also told Fowler that the management had told him that they would surely get it blocked, but they still had not done so. Max looked at Fowler, who was standing near Osabel. Max asked Fowler to sit down as there was still half an hour for the report to reach Osabel. Osabel joked that it was not 30 minutes but 31 minutes that were left for the report to reach them. The report was supposed to come in around 12:30 at night. Osabel said that he wished he had known how Max had come to know about the report coming in. Max smiled wickedly and said that he also wished to know how Osabel and his team had got the report. He added that nothing had happened to the report because he would take it from Osabel straight to his team. Then suddenly a knock is heard on the door and Max panics. Fowler is also scared by the knock on the door. Osabel replied to Mac's question about who was on the door that it must be the police because he had asked them to be to check on him after some time, as he thought that the report was about to receive was important and definitely required extra attention. He had asked the police to check on him after every some time to ensure that everything was all right. See, now Max completely believed on Osabel. Actually, Osabel is a very smart, he is a very smart spy. So he cracked all this story. Now let's continue what happened later on. Max bit his lips nervously. The knocking was repeated. What will you do now, Max? Osabel asked. If I do not answer the door, they will enter anyway. The door is unlocked and they will not hesitate to shoot. Max's face was black with anger as he backed swiftly towards the window. He swung a leg over the sill. Send them away, he warned. I will wait on the balcony, send them away, or I will shoot and take my chances. The knocking at the door became louder and voices was raised. Mr. Osabel, keeping his body twisted so that his gun still covered the fat man and his guest. The man at the window grabs the frame with his free hand to support himself. Then he swung his other leg up and over the window sill. The doorknob turned. Swiftly, Max pushed with his left hand to free himself from the sill and door to the balcony. And then, as he dropped, he screamed once shrilly. The door opened and the waiter stood there with a tray, a bottle, and 2 glasses. Here is the drink you ordered for when you returned. See, this was the smartness of Osabel. In that room, there was no balcony. Max fell down from 6th floor because from that window he jumped. That was not the balcony side but towards the ground floor, and that's why when he fell down he screamed. And the person, those who was knocking at the door, he was the police, not the police but the waiter, the serving person of the hotel. And he said, sir, it is your drink. He said and set the tray on the table, deftly uncorked the bottle and left the room. White face, Fowler started after him. But he stammered, meaning it was difficult for him to believe. The police? There were no police, Osabel sighed. Only Henry, whom I was expecting. But won't that man out on the balcony? Fowler began. No, said Osabel. He won't return. You see, my young friend, there is no balcony. See, now this is the smartness of Max, the Osabel, that he made him believe that he was descending towards the balcony, but actually there was no balcony. It means there was no question that he would arrive again. So, dear children, this way you had seen a very important lesson this story is giving us, that we should not judge a book by its cover. Thank you, dear ones.